Now let's move on to one of the most important aspects of Power BI, measures. Measures make our dynamic calculations and are the lifeblood of our reports. To create a new measure, click on the New Measure button. As you can see, the formula bar opens. Let's create our first measure. We want to calculate total sales. Here we use the sum function because we want to sum up all sales amounts. We selected the amount column from our sales table. Power BI will automatically calculate this total based on the selected filters. Look, the total sales value changes automatically when I select different years. The great thing about these measures, they are calculated dynamically. Now let's write a slightly more complex measure. Let's calculate the average sales amount. The average function averages all sales amounts, but there is one thing to note. This average is the average of all selected rows, so the result will change according to the filtering. For example, if I select only the electronics category, the average will be calculated only for the sales amounts of electronic products. Let's go a little further and calculate the profit margin. There are a few important points in this formula. We use the divide function because it avoids the division by zero error in division operations. First, we calculate the profit, total sales, total cost. Then we divide this by total sales. The last parameter, 0, specifies the value to return if the denominator is 0. Finally, let's edit the appearance of our measurement. In the Format tab, we select the percentage format. Now let's do some more complicated calculations. We want to calculate the growth rate. We do something interesting in this formula. We subtract current period sales from prior period sales and divide by prior period sales. Thus, we find the growth rate. Now let's move on to a very important function, calculate. This function is like the Swiss Army knife of DAX. It does everything. Here we use the calculate function to calculate our current sales measure for the same period last year. The same period last year function automatically moves the dates back 1 year for us. Finally, let's make a conditional calculation. This measure will only give us the sum of sales higher than 1,000. Calculate works like a filter here. There is an important point we should pay attention to when using our measures in our reports: filter context. Each measure is recalculated according to the filter selected in the report. That's why we need to try different filter combinations when testing our measurements. With what you have learned, you can now perform dynamic calculations and create complex analyses in your own reports. Remember, learning DAX is a process, and your skills will grow as you practice and discover new functions. We will cover more advanced DAX topics in our next video. Until then, get plenty of practice. Thanks for watching and goodbye.